Good morning, dear audience, dear students of first year and second year. Because of some unavoidable situation, because of the COVID-19 situation, it has become an urgency, it has become an emergency situation for us to conduct our classes again online, and that means we have come back to our online classes. So hopefully you are keeping well. I am not well actually. I am feeling some problem in my chest, and that's why I cannot, sometimes my speaking is getting stumbled, getting obstructed due to some problems in my throat. Okay, so without wasting time, let us disclose the fact what we are going to know, what we are going to discuss in our today's online version of class. So first I have set, as I have said on the board, the clause. Have you got the point, clause? Our today's discussion will be on clause, and this clause item will be appeared as our completing sentence item in English second paper. So I have decided to conduct my class on clause. Okay, so now let us, as usual, let us have two examples. First one is, I know a boy. Second one is, I know a boy who is poor. So it is my question to you now, whether this one, I know a boy, whether it is a clause or a sentence. The answer will be, it is a sentence, not clause. Okay, and in the second sentence, what I have written, I have a boy who is poor. Now again I am asking you a question, whether it is a clause or a sentence. Definitely the answer will be, it is a clause. So what is the basic difference between two sentences? Look here, in this sentence there is a subject, there is a verb, and there is an object or complement, and then in the second sentence there is the combination of two sentences. First sentence is, I know a boy, and second one is poor. Okay, so there is two verbs and a connector, who, WA, so who. In this way, this sentence has become a clause, and this is the part of the clause, and this one is another part of the clause. So clause, what is the definition of clause? Clause will be the part of a sentence having their respective subject and finite verb. Okay, and clause will definitely be the combination of two or more sentences, and there will be or should be a connector in the midst of the clause. Okay, so now let's go into the next part of my session today. Clause. How many clauses are there? There are three types of clauses: principal clauses, subordinating clauses, and coordinating clauses. That is the coordinate clause, subordinate clause, and principal clause. Coordinate, subordinate, and what? Principal. Principal means what? Main clause, the independent clause. Principal clause has many names: main clause, independent clause. Okay, and coordinate clause, actually the combination of two principal clauses by adding coordinating conjunctions, suppose as, and, or, but, in this way. So coordinating conjunction and coordinate clause and principal clause, there is a great similarity between these two clauses. Coordinate clause is the combination of two principal clauses. So now next topic, next point to understand, what is subordinate clause. Subordinate means what we know. In Bangla, subordinate means odhinasto. So subordinate clause will be divided into two parts. Subordinate clause will be divided into that is like the other clauses. Subordinate clause will also be divided into two parts: the main clause and the subordinate clause. Okay, so principal clause and subordinate clause, and this way subordinate clause can be divided into three main types. Okay, first one is noun clause. Second one is what? The adjective clause, and third one is what? The adverbial clause, adverb clause. These are the three types of subordinate clause. So noun clause can be said as nominal clause, an adjective clause might be said as relative clause or contact clause, okay, and adverbial clause, actually adverb clause is different from noun clause and adjective clause. So in my next class we will go into the deep of this item, clause item, okay, and we will be finding out what is contact clause, we will be finding out what is adjective clause, what is noun clause, and everything will come into our discussion in details. After that we will go for our completing sentence. So as completing sentence item is related to our clause items, that's why I have reopened this topic, okay, I have reopened this topic, the clause. So in my next class we will be discussing more about clause. So till then I am bidding you thank you very much, and I hopefully you will keep watching my classes one after another, and another 2 classes I am going to take on clause, and I am sure that within that 2 or 3 classes the clause item will be clarified. Thank you very much. Thank you once again.